All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time, is it a transfer rumor show? I'm going to call it a late night with Chig, where I talk to you about rumors surrounding the Arsenal generally. All right, let's talk to you about Arsenal and their finances. I know everybody's favorite subject. Let's talk about our Arsenal. So I think it was over yesterday, last night. Was it over the last weekend anyway? Over the past couple of days. Obviously, as with every single business site out there is a challenge because of the dreaded C word. Let's call it, because I know YouTube hate it when you actually call the thing by its actual name. So let's call it the C word. Because of the dreaded C word, all businesses in the world at the moment are having their challenges. And I think we as fans sometimes sat here think, that football will be immune to those challenges. No, they won't be. And I think it's always worth pointing out that, yes, I do put a lot of transfer rumors on there, but I'm aware that I don't think we're going to particularly see a very exciting summer transfer window because of this. This has made clubs dig into their reserve tank. A lot of cash that they may have put to the side for the summer may have to be used, not necessarily to keep them afloat, but to balance the books. So I do think that this summer transfer window for everybody is going to be a challenging one. And none more so than Arsenal, because Arsenal, at the best of times, are penny pinchers. We know this already. Leading into this C word controversy, pandemic, I should say. It's controversial, but it's happening. Leading into this, it's important to remember that they had recorded a loss, I believe, of £27 million. And that was going into this situation. So I guess we kind of assumed, or I know I did, when we heard about a couple of clubs that had looked into furloughs with the government, to be honest, I assumed Arsenal would be one of them. Just because we know they like their money, we know they like a pound note, and we know that if there's anything they like more than a pound note, it's saving a pound note. So I just assumed that Arsenal would be one of those clubs looking into it. It turned out it was Liverpool and Spurs, and that seemed to frighten and anger everybody. And that's, funny enough, one of the main reasons why I truly believe that Arsenal, the thing they care about most is public image, because they still not have sought this government grant of furloughing staff. What they are planning to do instead is that they've done what they should do, and let's go to the players. Now, I have a slightly more sympathetic view on players, in the sense that I think people kind of are sat there were like, well, these players earn up to £350,000 a week. By rights, they should be the ones taking a pay cut. And in a lot of ways, I kind of agree with it if it's just a pure statement. But I also say, sometimes, regardless of how you think the players are overpaid or not, ultimately, you can't tell anyone that they should or should not cut their wage. Ultimately, it's their wage. It's their money. And contractually, they have a contract to say that they're going to be paid X amount of money. So yeah, the players are not obliged to do anything, no matter how much they earn. Yes, you would like to think that out of the goodness of their heart, given the amount of charity work they supposedly do on a month-to-month basis, these players should be front and center of docking their own pay and putting it towards stock. But they don't have to do a damn thing. It's for clubs. And maybe I'm approaching this with a HR head. It's for the club's HR, because let's face it, that's what's going to happen. It's for the club's HR to approach these players' agents and say, listen, we've obviously got a situation here. You guys earn X amount of money. It will help us if you do X, if you do Y, and if you do Z. And I know for me, being one of them, and again, maybe it's more my HR curiosity, I kind of wondered what we were doing, because we were hearing about other clubs We weren't really hearing about what Arsenal were doing. And then obviously yesterday it came and we started hearing about the fact that what Arsenal said is, listen, we'll cover everybody's wages. We can afford to do that provided you lot do what you need to do when the season gets started and you get us back into the Champions League. If you don't, then it's only fair come the end of the season, you give us that money back so then we can then continue to do what we need to do in the Champions in the summer window. I can understand the proposal. I can also understand the rejection. It must be sat there like, no. Now, don't get me wrong, if they were in a better position, if they were fifth, and you said and you brought that proposal to them, I think they'd back themselves to get it. They're ninth. So I can completely understand why they're like, no. Now, some of you might say, well, you lot got us there in the first place, so you lot should be able to help us get out. And if you want your money, then you should go and earn it. And I can understand that point of view as well. But I also understand the rejection. I truly do. Well, just to show that these players are not completely unreasonable, it seems like Arsenal and the players have come to some sort of understanding. So what they've said is, listen, we're not unreasonable here. What we'll do is we'll take a pay deferral. What that essentially means is that for a period of time, these players will agree to take a pay cut, provided that pay eventually finds its way back to them, regardless of whether they're still at the club or not. That has clearly been agreed by Arsenal. I think that's, to be honest, a pretty reasonable request. And it seems like, at least temporarily, Arsenal have figured out a way to kind of keep everyone working and pay the staff like cleaners and those type of people. And I think that's fair enough. If they can avoid doing furloughs by doing it that way, to me, I think that's reasonable. That's a reasonable approach. But like I said, I think people keep asking me what I think about it. Do you think that the players should have to take pay cuts? And I saw, obviously, everyone knows me and Lee are good friends. And I saw Lee's kind of hardline view in it. Lee has a hardline view and everything. I can kind of see a little bit more nuance because I'll give you an example. And this, I think, works even on my level. Some people might say that I'm paid okay. I won't say well, but I'll say okay for the job that I do, right? So if somebody says that I get paid okay for the job that I do, and because of the situation I'm in, I have to take a pay cut, I won't be happy. Mind you, I'm speaking as HR, right? So now your response to that would be, yeah, Chief, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not on a footballer's wage. So you have a lifestyle depending on whatever it is you earn. So just because we don't have a lavish lifestyle, they do. So who is anyone to tell them that they shouldn't be getting the wages that they do? Yeah, me and you are the average person think that £200,000 a week is an extortionate amount of money, 100%. But this is players' money and wages and things that they believe and that they're contracted to earn. Who is anyone to say you have to take a pay cut because of this situation? You would hope they would have the incentive, and I'll say this again because people are often deaf sometimes in comments, right? People will often misunderstand what I'm saying. So let me say this nice and clear. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you would hope the players would take a pay cut, but I don't think they're obliged to do anything. So I think a lot of these things are negotiation, it's understanding, it's playing to the better nature of the players, of their agents as well, that might start to influence, and I think I can understand why a lot of this is a negotiation. Now, again, some people might look to Messi and Ronaldo, both of whom have taken pay cuts during this situation. Don't get it twisted, guys. That would have took a lot of negotiation. And, they probably also understand that being probably the most handsomely paid players in the world, and seen as the two best players in the world, that PR-wise, it will look good if they go nice and early. You know, so for me personally, if I was a player earning on that sort of dough, of course I'd take a pay cut. But I can understand the negotiation. I can understand that this stuff takes time. For me, I think this is a good result. I think they've done well because I actually thought that Arsenal would be seeking to furlough, to be honest. But the fact that they've not done that, and thus far they're avoiding, furloughs, stroke redundancies, I think they're doing great. So let's hope that that continues. I think with that in mind, and yes, even including this situation at the moment, I think people need to ready themselves that this could have an impact, not just on our transfer business, but on the transfer business as a whole. We've seen slow markets before, and this will have a big impact in the market. So I think people, when, I saw Mikel Arteta, and I said this yesterday, I'll say this again. When I saw that Mikel Arteta has 2 or 3 different plans for transfer business, I thought, well, yeah. To me, that seemed sensible because you can't predict what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, how much finances you're going to have, who it is you're going to sell. You hope you're going to keep Aubameyang, but you hope he'll stay. I'm at the point now where I don't know with Aubameyang. I'm still leaning towards him going. I still think he will go. But then part of me is kind of like, maybe he might just think to himself, Rago, let me stay in. I said I wanted to be an Arsenal legend. I meant it. I can lead this team. I'll stay. And I hope he still feels that. But let's see. What do you think about this situation, about Arsenal generally, and the fact that they've come to this agreement? Let me know. Leave it in the comments down below. I didn't really want to talk about this story because it feels a little bit the sunny. But I don't know if you guys saw the story about Unai Emery. So when Unai Emery first got the Arsenal job, he started dating one chick. I can't remember what her name is, Sasha something. I remember reading about this Sasha woman last year sometime. Started dating one woman called Sasha, and I don't know. It seems this woman seems like she was a handful, like a big handful, to the point where she completely distracted him from the job. As far as I'm just reading between the lines, just distracted him from the job. I didn't really want to talk about it too much, but do you look at that and just think it's just an excuse, or do you think there's some merit to it? I'm not speaking for guys only. I know women can sometimes, and my other half is looking at me intently when I say this, but women can sometimes throw you off your game a little bit, shall we say. And listen, I can imagine it's the same for women when it comes to guys. Relationships generally can throw people off their game. So yeah, I can believe maybe it might have had a contribution, but I think for me, his biggest focus should have been the football club, not moving to Gal. I mean, don't get it twisted. He obviously broke up from his wife prior to the Arsenal job. I think his wife's name was Lucia, something like that, Lucia, something like that. Came to London, quite frankly, wanted some pussy. So he just decided, let me move to this Sasha chick, and the rest is history. Apparently, he was using Google Translate on the first day. So my man was... I read that part of the story. I was cracking up. I just thought, yeah, I could see you doing some shit like that. Just trying to say a word that the woman was probably like, what? I thought, oh, right, let me use Google Translate. All right, is this how you say it? How goofy wasn't that first statement? Oh man, honestly, football, man. I don't know what you want to say. But anyway, guys, those are the 2 main stories I wanted to talk about. Not really much else happening in terms of like the transfer window. Pretty quiet at the moment. I normally get a lot of Sunday stories, not seeing all that many. And that might have something to do with just the impact of the C word. But how's your Sunday? I hope you guys are well. Happy Easter. Sorry, I should have led with that. I hope you guys have had a nice Easter. Let's do 15 minutes of question and answers. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my combat channel And I'm hoping Ola, he's gone a bit MIA. He did tell me earlier he was ready. Okay, yep, it looks like we are going. So yeah, at 9:30, me, Ola, and will be talking about UFC 249 cancellation, little bits and bobs, the Carl Frost comments. We'll cover all of that. Do a show about half an hour, 49 minutes. So if you keep asking me UFC questions and you're wondering when is it I actually go live, I would say normally it's a Friday at 9 o'clock. None of us could do that Friday, apart from Will, actually, to be fair. None of us could do that Friday. So we've decided, you know what? We're going to do Sunday instead. So make sure you stick around that. The link is in the description to the combat show. We will be going live in that. All right. Let's get to it. I see you lot all in the chat room. I hope you've drilled that like button. If I've missed anyone's donations, I'm going to scroll up to get it. As I always say, and I know people hate when I say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. You know, donations are appreciated. Always, first and foremost. I think it's like a taboo to say that, or I won't shy away from that taboo. It's always appreciated. Always reinvested in the show. I always show you guys how I reinvest it as well. But what is more important than live money is them likes. Them likes allow more people to see the show grows, and I'm more likely to hit my targets when I do that. So please, don't worry too much about live dough. Just drill those like buttons. Also, let me say happy birthday to him, because my man is a donator and he is someone who regularly watches the show. Veteran, Mr. Gomez, Alex Gomez. It is his birthday today. So depending on when I see him or if he's watching it on the playback, happy 60th. I hope you're well, my bro. And I'll speak to you again soon. All right, let's go through some of these. Big up Liverpool, you never work alone. I hope you're well. Good move for Arsenal, shame for our friends in N17. Anita, I hope you're well. I know you were talking about the fact that you never seem to catch me live. So there you go. Caught me live now, so I hope you're well. El Stoner, big up to you, my bro. I hope you're well. Tyrone, I hope you're well. Georgie, so you're a candidate for someone who needs to catch the combat show. So I know you like asking me UFC questions. B-Tech Robbie Lyle. Oh, I've never heard that before. I'll tell you what, B-Tech Robbie Lyle. I bet you swivel on the end of this and you can time yourself out. How about that? Honestly, just dumb motherfuckers that want a reaction. That's all that is. What else? Chig, would you ask the players? Sorry, would the players ask for any interest on their wage deferrals? Oh, that would be scumbaggy. That would be scumbaggy. I don't think so. They have no legal right to interest on their wages. Unless they have a weird contract that says that, they have no legal right to that. So, no, I very much doubt it. But then again, if that's part of their agreement, so it all depends on what they would agree to before they agree to a deferral. Because deferrals are your latest agreement that could either be attached to a contract or could supersede a contract. It all depends on what was agreed. She put a hex bag in the Champions League changing room. Do you know, into Arsenal changing room? Do you know what I mean? She kind of looks like the type. She looks a bit weird. Like, I'm not sure I would have moved to her if I was single. So yeah, distracted for the job. I try to be as diplomatic as possible, Anita. Big D's. I hope you're well, brother. I hope you're good. No, thank you for having me on. I hope you're good. Yeah, thank you, Brandon, my bro. Yes, please do smash them likes. Thank you, Brandon. My favorite Mexican American. I like the suit. I like the picture. Big up, Sergio. I hope you're well, brother. Big D's. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing good, Ryan. I hope you're well. Voided season or not, hearing you never walk alone at Anfield is going to hit differently when this ends. Yeah. And listen, if it is voided, I hope. Let me take hope out of it. I think Liverpool will probably end up winning the league. They should be awarded it. They deserve it. Big up, Alex. I hope you're well, my bro. I hope you're well. Bertrand, I'll come to your question in a second. Sergio, thank you very much for your donation. Man like Chig, I hope you're good. Thank you for your donation, bro. I appreciate it. Your combat show is at 9:30, did you say? Yep. 9:30. I'm literally going to come out of this in 5 minutes, set that up, invite the boys on, we go live. So, yeah, literally just subscribe to it if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. You'll see the link pop up immediately. I'm so close to 100 subscribers on the combat show as well. So make sure you subscribe to that channel, people. Chig, put Kante for sale. Should we sign him, and how much would you pay for him? Should Chelsea? I'd love us to get Kante. I would have loved us to have got Kante from Leicester. Would I buy him now? Yeah, because he's better than anyone else we have. He is. But is that a rumor? Is that something that will be happening? Big up to you, Georgie. I hope you're well. Caught you live, Chig, notification. Brother, you know YouTube like moving mad. They like hating on a brother. I shit you not. I did a half an hour video yesterday. Normally, maybe 5 minutes it takes to upload a video onto the channel and it to be live, ready for people to watch in the playback. I shit you not. I did a show yesterday at 6. That thing did not clear until 8 o'clock this morning. I don't know what YouTube are playing now, right now. So trust me when I say this. If anyone has pressed the bell on this channel, unpress it, press it again. That's what they tell me. But they tell me if you guys do that, it should work. So do that. But a player referral is basically a loan, ain't it? I guess so. Did I put player referral? I should have put wage referral. What did I put? Now you got me worried. Yeah, wage deferral is what I said. So you guys play tricks on me. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, Marcus, brother. I hope you're well. You're a new name. I hope you subscribed. I hope you're well. Shig, if you were a top football player, would you play for the Arsenal today? If I was a young player, yes. If I was an ambitious player, to be honest, I agree with the Gambon chief. No, I wouldn't. Not if I wanted to win something. No. If I was a young player, absolutely. And that's just me being honest. Bertrand, to come to your question, yes, 9:30. I'm literally coming off here in 4 minutes. And I'm coming off deliberately early so I can set up, get Ola and Will on, and then we're literally rolling. Because I don't want that show to go on too long. Literally, my girl sat here and said 2 shits to her all afternoon. I did Claude's podcast earlier, so I'm going to spend a little time with her, and then, yeah. So the next cooking video is tomorrow. It's in the tank. It will drop at 12 midday tomorrow. Me and my girl already made that. It's literally in the tank. It's ready to go. She pick the best midfield 3 in present in football. Oh, Tyrant, I'll remember this question. I'll answer it in the next football video. Best midfield 3, yeah. What are we basing this on? Stats or what my preferred 3 would be? That'd be my quick question to you. Because if money's no object, Partey, De Bruyne, Ndidi would be my midfield three. Imagine that midfield three. Do I think Liverpool win the league next season? No, I don't. I think City will do whatever it takes to get back on top. So I don't. That's why it's so important for Liverpool to do it now. They've been brilliant last 2 seasons, but I think City won't be happy with the way the last 2 seasons have panned out. So although they won it last year, they had to bounce back last year. And this year they've been nowhere near winning it. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be happy. So, yeah, I think City will be back on top next year. Gotta love how YouTube didn't send a notification that you were live. Bro, apparently Lee tells me that whenever I go live, it doesn't show I'm live. So I already know YouTube are moving mad. Not to mention that I have, obviously, the Combat Show, which I've been talking about, which is subscribed to this channel. And sometimes I go on my phone through the Combat channel and it never shows me live. So I know YouTube are moving mad. I know they are. Chig Ainsley Harrier. I know people have said that before. Like Ainsley's the only black chef out there. Hit them likes for Chig. Thank you, my brother. My Aussie brother. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe out there. Because I hear that the situation's getting worse over there as well. You still get your notifications. All right, that's good. That's good. At least it's working somewhere. Do you think LeBron James will win a championship with the Lakers? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think, oh, bro, you'll be up there. But I think it's important for you to be, because you two are the best teams in the league, no doubt. But I just think Man City won't be happy with the way the last 2 years have been panned out. That's why I think they'll probably go and get a defender to sit next to Laporte, and maybe go and get a long-term successor to Fernandinho. Heck, they may even go and get Party. Who knows? And I think it's a wrap for everyone. All right, I'm going to do literally 3 more questions and I'm out. Tyrone, do you know Victor Moses and Zaha player for England? Bro, rewrite that. I'll rewrite that. You got to explain what you mean by that. What do you think about Uber? I've said it before and I say it again, my guy. I want him to stay. I think he's a brilliant goal scorer. But I'm also not in the same camp as, oh well, we have to keep him even if he doesn't sign a contract because we can't replace his goals. Cool, you still have the same problem next year. And then those people who say that will then bitch at the club for not spending money. So why not get the money for him this year and look for his successor, look for that the answer to that problem now, as opposed to next year when we have no money to actually buy his replacement. So I want him to stay, but if we can get 50 million for him, I'd take it. United will improve. Chelsea will sign players. Agreed. Never fear, I'm in the house. Buster's in the house. Everybody's favorite grumpy old man. Chig, what do you think of WrestleMania? Better. Honestly, could have been worse. Considering the situation, it could have been worse. Biggest rivalry in England, Chig. For me, Arsenal. I know people will say United, Liverpool. I think Arsenal Spurs is different. It's different. You know, even when you're at the Emirates, right? I've never been to White Hart Lane for that match. But even at the Emirates, people are a little bit on edge. It's a different type of feeling. That for me, it's definitely Arsenal Tottenham. Barcelona linked with Laporte. Yeah, I'm not surprised. He's a good defender. How about Griezmann and Laka back together? If it would work, but I'm not sure it would. Do you think it would, Alex? What's your opinion on that? I know you like moves like that. Evening, mate. I hope you're well, Daniel. I hope you're good. All right, I'm out of it because I just realized it's 9:28. But guys, please do slap a like on this video. You know how we do. You know how we roll. It's important for the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm literally about to go live on the Combat Show. So if you haven't seen us before work on the Combat Show, make sure you come join us. Knowing me, I'm going to be 5 minutes late because I've got to wait for this thing to process and do a bits and bobs on it. So make sure you come on the Combat Show, 9:35. Literally 7 minutes. All right? I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.